In the world of animals, some are very smart. Primates can use tools like rocks. Dogs understand our feelings. Orcas have special ways to talk and hunt. These animals are clever, and they live in groups. We know them well, but not all smart animals are big like them. There are tiny ones too.
Some birds are really smart, especially a group called corvids. Corvids are birds like crows and magpies. They do many clever things. They are even smarter than many mammals. Why are they so smart? How do they learn to do these things? We want to know more about this. Testing their actions can help us understand.
In our last talk, we learned about the Corvid family. This family of birds includes jays, ravens, and more. Jaybirds are quite smart. Ravens are clever too. But there is one crow, the new Caledonian Crow, which is the smartest of all. These crows have a very high level of intelligence. Scientists find them very interesting and full of surprises.
Yes, New Caledonian crows amaze scientists. They are very intelligent. For example, they can solve problems and use tools. There was a smart test with water tubes to measure their skill. The crows needed to get treats from the tubes, and they knew they should raise the water level to reach the snacks. They think fast and act well. Want to learn more? Join us now to get video transcripts and help us keep going.
The water tube test is very interesting. Crows drop stones into the water. The water rises up, and then they can grab the treat from the top. They are smart and can plan their actions. It is amazing how they know what to do to get the food. This kind of thinking shows they are not just birds. They have minds like 5 to 7-year-old kids.
These New Caledonian crows also know what items to choose when faced with tasks. They pick the right thing to use. These birds think ahead and do not just guess. Their skill at choosing is a sign of their great intelligence level. It makes us wonder about all that they know and can do. These birds really teach us more about how smart the animal world is.
Let's talk about how crows use tools. They don't just use tools, they also make them. Some crows combine different pieces to make a longer tool to get food. This smart action is rare in the bird world. It shows how intelligent they are. Making new tools shows planning and thinking skills. Only a few animals like great apes can do this too.
Yes, it's amazing to see crows build new tools. They can join sticks to make them longer. This means they understand different parts can work together. It's a sign of high intelligence. Great apes, our close animal relatives, have been seen doing similar things. To see this in birds is very special. This skill in crows shows they think like very smart animals.
Let's talk about how crows plan for the future. This is not just in stories, but real actions they do. Scientists made a test to see if crows can think ahead. They showed crows puzzle boxes with treats inside and tools outside. Crows were then moved out and brought back later. Most of them picked the right tool to use later. It is like they know what is coming next.
It is interesting how crows choose what to do now for a reward later. Just like in a test where they had two options, a tasty reward or a tool for later. Many crows picked the tool and waited to get the better reward later. This is not an easy choice. Comparing this, kids around 5 years old start to show such skills, but not all can do this. Crows show us they can plan too.
What crows do can be surprising. In tests like these, crows show us they are way smarter than many think. Unlike many animals, crows can wait and think ahead. This kind of planning is something special. They make choices based on what they expect to happen later. In our world, that is a type of intelligence we find in young children more than in other animals.
These behaviors make us think about how we test animal minds. Crows get tested like smart kids. When we look at the results, we see a lot about what these birds can do. It is amazing to think about their choices and how they prepare for what is next. The tests show a lot about their brain work and what they might think in their bird world.
Birds and mammals have very different brains. In animals with backbones, the outer layer of the brain is very important. For birds and mammals, this part is called the pallium. Over a long time, the brains of mammals changed a lot and got a special part. This special part is called the cerebral cortex. It helps us think and learn many things.
Birds are different. They do not have a cerebral cortex, but they still can be very smart. A study from 2020 shows that birds have parts in their brains that work like the cerebral cortex. The study found that things in the bird brain help them think in amazing ways.
Let's talk about what this study found. The study looked at how bird neurons are arranged. Neurons are important for sending messages in the brain. In birds, they are organized in a complex way. The way they are packed is similar to the mammalian brain, even if they are very different in shape. This study helps us understand why birds can think smartly.
What is really cool is the density of these neurons. Dense means there are many neurons in a small space. This packing helps birds think fast and smart. Compared to primates, birds have a lot of neurons packed in their brains. It is amazing how they have twice as many neurons in similar-sized brains. That is why birds like crows are so clever.
Our brain is an amazing thing, right? But in animals, brain size is interesting. Usually, animals with bigger brains are smart, like humans and dolphins. But in birds, it is not always about the size. It is more about how big the brain is compared to their body. Birds like crows have a brain-to-body ratio that is big. This makes them smart and able to think and solve problems well.
Yes, and it is not just the size we talk about. It is also about neurons, the tiny parts that help in thinking. Knowing how tightly neurons are packed is very important. If neurons are close together, ideas travel fast. In some birds like crows, neurons are packed super tight. This helps them be smart, even with their small brain size. It is amazing how brain packing plays a big part.
A study in 2016 showed how many neurons are in birds like crows. It found that crows have as many neurons in their brains as bigger animals do. This means crows can be just as smart. They solve problems and use tools like smart kids. Maybe it is not just about being big-brained, but having the right setup in the brain. Numbers in the study showed that crows have really packed neurons, even more than some primates.
This makes us wonder why birds like crows got to be this smart at all. They have different brains compared to mammals, but are still very clever. The birds evolved to use these tightly packed neurons well. It is a big question why only some birds, like crows, are like this. Their brains give them great skills in their own way, and we find that truly interesting.
Why are crows so smart? Some think about how they grow up. Young crows stay with their parents for a long time. During this time, they watch and learn. Parents teach them how to find food and use tools. This long learning time helps crows become smart. Seeing parents, young crows learn many things. This could be why they do so well in tests.
Different from many animals, crows do not always live in big groups. Most smart animals, like primates, live in big social groups. But crows are mostly with their own family. Even with this, they are still very clever. This makes them special. It is surprising because usually big group living helps animals become smarter. With crows, it might be the long learning time with parents instead.
Crows do not fit only one rule about being smart. For many animals, a social group is important. This is called the social intelligence hypothesis. It is about dealing with many relationships. Animals like chimps live in big groups and have to know many group members. But crows show us a different side. They do not need big social groups to be smart.
It is interesting to see crows do well without lots of social ties. They still have strong family bonds and learn a lot from parents. This shows intelligence can grow in different ways. Crows may not need large social groups, but they still play, solve problems, and show us they are very smart. Their way of learning and thinking is exciting and unique. Please like this podcast and share it with your friends. Comment your thoughts below. If you want full scripts and more, consider joining us on YouTube. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you.